SyDe versus EfFeCt. Have they ever faced off before? No! Not in competitive matches anyways. The win rate would suggest perhaps SyDe being a little bit favored. Wow, SyDe looks very different in that picture. Nowadays, he has a glorious beard as we saw at WCG, where SyDe didn't have the best results, but actually still had some pretty good games. And our first map is going to be Last Refuge. SyDe, bottom left in the red. EfFeCt, top right in the blue. AM first against DK first. We have a Tetfi in build order. I think the sound's a little low, right? Let's pump that up. Let's put in some tunes. Oh, nice. We got the human music. Very good. Licrest Fallen, thank you very much for the 100 bits. Hail Satan, my little lambs. Welcome on your back, Remo. Okay, I don't quite understand that, but thank you very much. Whoa! Acolyte gets the last hit. I almost missed it. Did you see it? The DK. Nice block from the footy, by the way. Prevented the DK from getting in here early. But with that, thanks to that, the Acolyte gets the last hit, and that's a big deal. That's a really big deal. With this level 1 DK harass, every bit of experience is really important. If you find yourself stuck on level 1, towards the mid game, it's not good. So every little creep, every little peasant kill, everything adds up. Once the DK is level 2, this is all much more playable. Acolyte's gonna get taken out over towards the Merc camp. EfFeCt. He is usually, definitely a fast expansion player against Undead. Most recently was playing against Lucifer, a pretty good series, where he definitely had the opportunity to take the win. However, lost at the end. But promising what he showed there, and he has been practicing, getting ready for this tournament, and I can only imagine he's in good shape. SyDe trying to manipulate the creep aggro here, wants to pull out the Murlocs. Ideally you want to pull out the Merc camp as well, but that's a little bit more difficult to do. How many ensnares do we have? Not a single one. The militia still have plenty of time to fight. The DK needs to get last hits. He doesn't just want to get last hits here, he needs to. The big one, the best one, the Ogre Magi. Nicely playing around the coil last hit. That one does go to SyDe, but the big boy now with the coil on cooldown goes to the AM. That's the level 2. Focusing on 2 peasants at the same time. Investing another coil for this. DK, experience 146. That is still pretty far away from level 2. 2 workers isn't even good enough. He needs 3 workers or 2 peasants plus a footy. And I love the footman numbers. I cannot point this out enough. High footman numbers is what keeps you safe. 5, is that enough? No. 6, is that enough? No. 7, is that enough? Maybe. Maybe that's enough. 8, that's better. 9, that's perfect. Don't stop making footmen, guys. So here comes the expansion, which was pretty easy to pull off here, as it seems. And SyDe's harassment wasn't so bad, by no means. It was just really good defense by EfFeCt. Always putting a bit of pressure on the DK, bringing tons of militia to this camp. 7 is pretty heavy for this one, but he lost 2, so it all checks out in the end. And the high number of footies, exactly what you want. And now the AM here. He went for the boots early on, really good at chasing, at applying pressure early. And this is the issue that can arise when you go for the level 1 harass. DK now is level 1 still only, didn't get enough steals, isn't level 2, and can now be pressured kind of hard. But EfFeCt is playing it safe. He's sending the footies back. He doesn't want to take too much harassment damage. This is a bit of an overreaction. But it's better to overreact to harass than to underreact. Suddenly 4 peasants die, suddenly you're super slowed down, and that always feels bad. Because you want to start teching quickly, and EfFeCt can actually start teching here very soon. He has the resources basically already. Starting the wall off towards the expansion. EfFeCt, always great with a SimCity in my opinion. And there we go, tech begins on 6 footmen. I think he should really go for more. Okay, 6 footies into defend is what he plays. Defend, of course, also great. And timing-wise, it checks out really well because the Fiends are only coming in now. Again, if the DK had been level 2 sooner, then he could have kept on the pressure. Then more damage could have been done against these footies and everything else before there was defend. But level 2 wasn't acquired. Level 2 had to be acquired with the creeps. Excuse me. And now there is a defend. And now these footies are extremely tanky. There we go. Eating the first Nova. That was a big one. Onto 4 of these footmen. More footies are coming, which is, of course, exactly what you want. Double Lumbermill, wall off. Yumiko style. And a shop coming between the bases. That's kind of cool. AM is taking quite a few hits over here. Perhaps a little too bold. He's low HP. The coil. AM positioning. The first big mistake by EfFeCt. You always want to be on the outskirts. If the fiends are standing here, AM needs to be to the side. Especially if there's mana for Coil Nova! Ah. He double-clicked TP'd, right? He double-clicked TP'd, so he landed over here. Oh, that is too bad for EfFeCt. Up until that AM out of position, this game was really good for him. Perhaps he was busy with the footies, with the macro, with something. There's a lot of things you have to manage here as the human. It's not that easy to do it all perfectly. Footies aren't quite getting this round off. At least it doesn't take that long to revive. It was only, in quotes, a level 2 hero. He's gonna be back soon. But this is doing wonders for these undead heroes now, who were having serious trouble progressing earlier. But now, with this footy kill, boom! Suddenly that's level 3 for this DK, who was struggling so heavily earlier on. And these peasants are kind of exposed. Towers getting focused by the fiends. Nice by side. He's putting them all in the little corner. If you just attack the towers normally, the AI kind of bugs out. Doesn't really work. And this is costing a lot of repair. This is expensive. Expensive hold here for EfFeCt. He needs the AM back. He needs the MK at this point even. Double racks. Blacksmith. We're gonna have rifles here starting soon. MK though blocks behind the AM. And the lumber now really isn't here. So many peasants have been lost. So much repair has been forced. Oh man. This AM loss. That's a crucial mistake, obviously. AM also still at level 3. He decided to be aggressive earlier on against the DK. That's a bit of a risk. Normally you would expect still to get level 3 somewhere later on, but he didn't. He's stuck on level 2 now. And level 1 water elementals at this stage in the game against 4 fiends plus with statues do nothing. What's the text saying for sides? Should be soon to finish. Yes, it is. Meat wagon. Whoa. That's a blast from the past. Especially with only 1 guard tower here. I feel he could break this with only fiends. But alright, meat wagons it is. Very far forward now is side though. So a militia flank could be effective. Timing that with the MK might be a possibility. Rifles are starting to come. Sanctum as well. EfFeCt is miles and miles away from tier 3. I can tell you that much. Alright, this music is a little bit loud. Alright, now it's a little quiet. We're gonna have the sweet spot. There we go. That's the sweet spot. MK comes in with a Stormbolt, but however, no militia here. The DK might be kind of stuck back here. Burrow, perhaps saving that feed. There's no farm on the high ground. There was too much going on to go for this. And the DK forces him back. Well done. Death Knight, perhaps they're a little bit out of position. The meat wagon is going to be TPing back to the base with the rest of the undead army. But now there's the orb. Now there might be a third hero. SyDe doesn't have the resources at this very moment, but it won't take long until he gets them. And yeah, EfFeCt needs to get some creeping done. He needs to get this Merc camp support. He needs the trolls. And SyDe is stopping for a creep camp, giving EfFeCt time. Okay, I guess he's also waiting for Disease Cloud. I was actually Destroyer form first, and then Disease Cloud. One of mana stealing for the Lich. Who's almost level 3? Man, this is a quick level 3 Lich. Oh, almost level 3. Dark Ranger here would be the usual third hero choice for SyDe. And I believe that's exactly what he's aiming for. Yes, it is. And again, the push is coming towards the expansion. It's only 1 guard tower. This is not much defense. This could very, very easily be cracked. We have a couple of rifles out now. No mercs just yet. But it's not that many. This is 5 rifles only. Backed up by level 3 AM, that's okay. But the MK, he's miles away from level 3 himself. TP coming in. Without militia. I feel like he needs militia, doesn't he? Defensive TP. Couldn't he have just walked over there? Seems like he may have been able to. Nova hits the rifles in the back. And that was level 2 Nova, by the way. He got the level up here shortly before somewhere. Coil coming in to save these fiends. The statue in the back not on healing. They're using actually it manually on healing and mana. So far, no losses for the undead, but EfFeCt is bleeding, losing more and more rifles. Nova hitting big again. Gets that kill easily. Could lead to a next kill right after. But Clap is starting to do some work at least. Meatwagon attacking the peasants only, not this army. Could perhaps be effective against the priests, but SyDe is busy with these fiends. The Borrow, so effective, and how painful is it now to not have reveal? That was definitely a big mistake. The Stormbolt gets eaten there by the fiend, but it's in the ground again, and oh my god. This free healing, these saves, this might be what wins SyDe the game here in the end. PK is almost level 4, one more kill, there we go! That must be the aura now, I imagine. The MK is not enough of a threat to warrant the Death Pact now, in my opinion. Yet he is still going for Death Pact. Wants to play it safe. Expansion is still mining. But again, EfFeCt has lost more units. He has lost plenty already. Calling Nova on the MK. He's about to die over here. More right clicks. He's in trouble. Deep, deep trouble, but he does survive. Militia now finally coming from the main. But how late is this? 5 militia coming in. But the rest of the human army takes a little bit longer to come in after. MK is still in trouble. Heal pot is on him. Still cooling down. Can't use it at the moment. Now he can. In the main, no tier 3. Tier 2 only. Holding on with everything he can. And the priests. If they're in range of the fiends, they die so easily. MK heal pot now. Keeps him safe a little bit longer. There's a coil. There's about to be a Nova in 3, 2, 1. Now it's ready, but the coil was used defensively to keep the fiend alive. These burrows, unbelievable how much these burrows are pulling off. And more skeletons are coming. Lich actually can't eat them for Nova, for mana, excuse me, because he has the Frost Armor. But it's still good enough. GG from EfFeCt, and SyDe gets the 1-0. Damn, that was such a clean, strong early game by EfFeCt, but losing your first hero, that's just simply not allowed. That is just simply not allowed. Can quickly slip away, as demonstrated here. If this AM stays alive, better. If he gets level 3 earlier, if he has the mass footies out with defend, he should be able to push back pretty easily there. Buy enough time for the MK. Buy enough time for the breakers, then tier 3, and then all the other stuff. Okay, just want to make sure that Wolf is coming in as well. So we have Russian coverage as well. So, 1-0 lead. Second map is going to be Northern Isles. As far as the vetoes went, by the way, SyDe eliminated Terranos Stand. EfFeCt followed with Concealed Hill. Echo Isles, the next veto by the Undead, and Twisted as the last one from EfFeCt. Pretty standard vetoes. Pretty much all about the expansion. Early, easy expansion maps are favorable for the human. Those the Undead wants to get rid of. And with that in mind, LR is usually a pretty easy expansion map. Not as easy as Terranos, of course. But that one, going to SyDe, could become somewhat problematic. So LR is out, Northern Isles is next, and the last one would be AZ if we do go there. Map number 2. there we go. Effect the bottom left, side in the top right. Ted Fiend opening once again. And a normal altar build. MK first for some humans is the preferred hero oftentimes in this matchup. Not for EfFeCt, I think. Don't believe I've seen him play that before. And especially on this map, it's horrible. It's awful. You don't have merc camps here. You don't have easy expo creeps or easy level 3 here. And that is what you want. With the Mountain King, that's the upside of the AM. He can creep pretty much anywhere with militia usage. Normal creep route nowadays for humans is green into expansion. On the old Northern Isles, it was instant expansion, as that one was way easier to creep with the Rock Golem trick. Also, the DK couldn't steal the last hit there with a coil. Here he can. This camp is a little too hard. If you creep that instantly, face off against harass, this is too dangerous. So, EfFeCt will have to go for the green camp, unless he wants to take a massive risk, which I wouldn't recommend. This is why, it could be recommendable to go for the green camp here first, get some experience, and then come harass, as there will not be an expansion first creep. Most likely. Most likely. So Acolyte sees this. Acolyte confirms that it's going to be the green camp first. And that was to be expected. Good creeping here by EfFeCt, not getting the Watch Elemental purged. It tanks most of the damage. Again with the footy block, slowing down the DK slightly. But even if the DK isn't slowed down, he's not in time to steal any of the creeps over here. But of course his goal is to interfere with this one. Stealing 2 creeps here, if he gets both these big ones, he's basically level 2 already. This is why this can be a really good camp to harass, if you do get the coil last hits. AM took a bit of damage from the creep camp, and is taking more damage now from the coils. Once again, DK trying to force the creep aggro with the ensnares. Harder to do here, though. What's the AM doing? Looks like the AM is waiting to intercept the fiends, perhaps. Is he teching? It looks like he has too many peasants to tech.
Player's forces are under attack.
Tech would be very late. But he doesn't want to creep this yet. Skeletons attacking the creeps, aggroing them, so Bloodlust gets casted early. It's going to result in more damage from the creep camp against the human. Oh, almost attacked the creeps right there. Buys another clause of attack. Wow, before the expansion. That's very rare. I like it, though. Claws on the AM, really good. And with that also he buys enough time that there's enough peasants now, bringing out 7 again. So he should be definitely safe against the DK harass. And that's the way you're supposed to do it. Couple of units on the Death Knight, and the AM is laying in some hits as well in between. Oh, and that coil missed. That is a massive deal. That already means this early game isn't that great for SyDe. He gets the big boy, though. The item, the talisman, up for grabs. Still, both heroes low HP. For both, it's a little bit stressful. For both, it's very hard to heal. So AM needs to be careful. DK realistically can't do too much here anymore. Gets the coil last hit, though. That's also important. He wants to get level 2. He would love to get level 2 right here. One more set of Rod of Necromancy is ready. Oh, nice save on the peasant. And deny after. This is so important as well. If you want to play human on a high level, denying experience to a level 1 DK, essential. AM with the boots now makes being elusive much easier. One more peasant is definitely gonna fall, though. And this expansion is absolutely delayed. The DK, though, needs to be careful now. With these boots on the AM, he could absolutely force him into a TP or kill him off. But there's fiends as well to put pressure on the AM. And of course, he's still very low HP. Oh, I forgot about the score. I'm sorry. There we go. Tier 2 is done now for SyDe. Slaughterhouse for statues will be coming, and that Slaughterhouse is going to be very welcome. Lich, after quick Tier 3 tech, I think he teched on 4 fiends before. Now, SyDe is teching on 3. which is basically the earliest you can do it. Your Fiend pressure before tier 3 will be a little bit weaker then, but tier 3 hits sooner, Orb hits sooner, third hero, Destroyer, all that stuff. Is SyDe gonna go for the safety heal pot or not is the question. Fiends got one more Peasant. And no heal pot for the DK, relying on getting level 2. With the Nova coming in, he should be able to pick up enough kills to get the level 2 for the Aura, which is of course a massive deal. AM also needs to be careful. He has to realize the Lich is coming in, and the first Nova lands on the first hero. Again, this AM in trouble. Deep trouble. He basically can't show his face anymore. And I think there should have been a shop coming. Okay, shop is coming here. I like that. That's good. Arcane Tower so close to finishing. The Fiend's not in range, and the DK is almost surrounded over here. Was very close to being forced into a TP, but the Lich invests both his Novas, one on the AM, and then only one on the footies. So getting the experience now for level 2 is a little bit harder for SyDe, but he should be able to. But if he wants to do that, he's running into the Arcane, getting burned further. AM with the regen scroll, gonna help himself out now, and those footies. Great usage by EfFeCt. The Lich is gonna get burned again. Great Arcane Tower handling here by EfFeCt. Burning so much mana away from the Undead. And Undead, especially late game, is all about mana. And the DK, wow. Still level 1 only. That's atrocious. Footy numbers, a little low for my taste, but they're basically always a little low for my taste. Seems like EfFeCt is always aiming for those six footies into defend. And with the AM so hurt, it's really dangerous to re-engage. But AM now, back at 300 HP. This is kind of where you can go back in, especially seeing the Lich's mana, which is low, which means no Nova. But AM not being level 3 is again a problem. And this was again the last hits on the creeps. The DK got 2 there. He got the Tuskar guy and the level 2 guy, the Priest. And tier 3 is done. Destroyer form on the way. Dark Ranger. Oh, the Ziggurat is slightly delayed, but not by too much. And now the Dark Ranger's coming. Before the Orb of Corruption. SyDe may have to go for Backpack here to bring it from the main. Not researching it yet, though. More kills. Going SyDe's way. How is the tech looking for EfFeCt? Almost done. Second Rax is coming. Blacksmith coming. And MK will also be on the way. Militia called. It's just not enough for these. He didn't get high enough up in the footman, in my opinion. Militia, though, are putting in decent damage here. However, here comes the first Destroyer, and that makes getting use out of these footies and Militia really difficult. It's gonna have to be the rifles now to answer. And, whoa! Double Destroyer morph. SyDe is going towards this expansion, going heavily in, and gets the kill on the tower. And now there's no more defense for these peasants. Lich is level 2. Probably gonna be Dark Ritual now. No, Frost Armor again. Wants to be safer instead. There's no more healing for SyDe, but there's no more mining for EfFeCt. Oh boy. It's looking pretty painful. More and more peasants are dying. And the human needs this expansion.
Town is under siege. A player's forces are
Orb of Corruption coming now from the Ghoul. This was pretty far delayed, but I didn't need it. It wasn't like SyDe was fighting against high numbers of footies. It was just a couple of footies here and there that the triple hero, even without the Orb, could easily deal with, along with the Fiends and the statues. And now SyDe in a grand position this game. Don't want to call this over too soon, but if I was a betting man, I would put my War 3 info coins on SyDe right now. Well, you can't do that on War 3 info once the game started, but you could have done before. Don't know where I was going with this. MK though, with the Stormbolt now, this becomes a little bit more dangerous, and this is where the statues are severely lacking now for SyDe. You need that regen over time. Oh, skeletons even in the main. No lumber income at all at the moment for EfFeCt. However, his lumber still looking okay. Town Hall, man. Extremely damaged. SyDe. He forgot about this next ziggurat. And that's why he couldn't go for any more statues. Oh, that's a big mistake. That's a big mistake. You always, like, if you morph all your statues for a destroyer attack, that's okay. If you can break the base, that's absolutely worth it. But you have to make sure statues will be following. Statues is the recovery mechanic for undead. One of the biggest strengths of undead. Perhaps the single biggest strength, in my opinion, might be statues. But that's level 3 for the DK, that's the greater mana. Level 2 for the Dark Ranger as well. This is a lot of power spikes being hit right now. Statue coming in soon, A-bomb after, more fiends. We do have mining re-established, but EfFeCt still at only 50 supply. He needs to be up at more. He's down in tech. He's tier 2 only against tier 3. What was the MK? Level 2. He got a Book of the Dead, but against destroyers, of course, that really doesn't do much.
A player's forces are under attack.
Skeletons again sent it to the main. SyDe is playing this pretty passively. Perhaps he's misreading. Perhaps he thinks EfFeCt has a bigger force. Continuing to creep now. I do not believe this is the right call, but of course, easy for me to say. I see everything. I know exactly how much EfFeCt has. SyDe has to estimate. It's not that easy for him. And waiting for the A-bomb is going to be a big upgrade as well. I think it cancelled the A-bomb though. Going now into more statues. All statues, destroyers, fiends. Lots of focus fire potential. And the Lionhorn is also great. Gets the invul now. Okay, this is one hell of a scary push that SyDe is amassing. Still no tower at the expansion. Peasants can do... skeletons can do damage. EfFeCt's gonna have to TP back. He does have a TP. He's gonna get the red camp drop. Helm of Valor, not too bad for the MK. Nothing amazing though. After the TP, a Nova could be absolutely monstrous. SyDe needs to line up for the Nova. And ready. Boom! Nova onto easily 5 targets right there. The first one dies in a second, and he's aiming for the priest instantly, which makes sense, of course. The fiends can snipe those out very, very easily. Next, rifleman falls, going for the next one after that. The DK, though, with the clap, almost dies. 20 HP only. The invul keeps him safe. But now Death Knight has to be pulled to the back. One more Stoneball could finish him off. I think he could have had it. I think he was in range, but EfFeCt was perhaps looking elsewhere. There's so many things to manage right now. He has to put out fires everywhere. This is disaster management. This is really stressful right now for the human. Again, the tower may not be coming up, and it's only an arcane tower anyways. Doesn't really provide much damage at all. And SyDe. He took a great trade right there. The DK tanked a lot of the damage, but barely any of the units died. As he's still up at 67 supply. EfFeCt 57 only. He's gonna get one fiend here, at least. The coil a little too late, but return Nova again on these rifles. Good micro back, but guess what? They're slow. They're still easy to take out. And the tower is gone. The way towards the peasants is open, and again, it's hunting season. One kill after the next. Good dispel against the skeletons. But here comes the A-bomb now. This one, if SyDe wants, can just be parked in the peasant line. And looks like that's exactly what he's doing. And there's going to be absolutely no mining left here very soon anymore. Do we have anything? As a transition coming. He could call some rifles. Oh, the rifle is stuck in the base. 2 rifles are stuck in the... 3 rifles are stuck in the base. Oh, okay, it's now open. It's now open. He finally hacked open the way. Oh man, missing those 3 rifles. Could that have made the difference? Probably not, maybe though. When the DK was on 20 HP, that could have perhaps made the difference. The AM! He used the TP earlier. Heal pod transfer last second. Oh my god. Both these first heroes in deep trouble, but now level 3 for the Dark Ranger. These Dark Arrows, these skeleton minions are gonna be extremely strong now, and Militia just waiting to be conformed into the dead. Black Arrow actually off autocast right now, but it's still good enough. GG from EfFeCt, and 2-0 for SyDe.